All right, dude. So we've been out here in the shop for, I don't know, an hour or so. All I've really been doing is cleaning this guitar up, getting it ready to go put on a shelf somewhere. I finally put the finishing touches on it. Let me show you what I did. It is finished. It's on 1930. I went ahead and buffed it one more time, and then I was feeling like I went kind of lazy, so I went ahead and buffed the sides too. So I don't want to be lazy. So got that buffed, and I went ahead and buffed the top again. So of course it's got, you can see things like a couple of imperfections here and there, but for my first time shooting that clear coat, I don't think it's too bad. So I also dialed in, I got the action right to where there's no fret buzz. It's a tad on the high side. That's my only complaint, is I think I could mess with that more, but like I say, it's kids playing it, and they're mainly going to be up here in this area, so they're not going to be doing a whole lot of extra. If they get down to right here, they've done something. So anyway, we're about to go take this guy and put him inside on a stand and let him chill till we give it away. So once I get it on a stand, I'm going to come back here and we're going to sand the edges of this guy and start filling some of these big cracks and gouges and crap with some wood putty. All right, good gracious sod out here. All right, so here's what we've done. All right, so we got it mounted on our stick here, back in our redneck holder, and I've kind of knocked all of it off that I can. I cleaned it with acetone. So it's just a heavy polyurethane. It ain't lacquer, I'll tell you that, because you can see how just caked up it is, especially like right here. I mean, you can see it's like plasticky. So anyway, so we've already hit it everywhere with acetone. Now I'm going to take some of my favorite thing in the world here, my 2-in-1 primer. We're going to shake it up good. We're going to spray this. That way, one, we get rid of the ugly Six Flags logo, and two, we get to see all the imperfections that we have to fix. So stay tuned for a minute. All right, dude, so this is probably boring because it's kind of rinse and repeat. Same crap I did with the last guitar. So this is one medium to heavy coat. And what I'm going to do is let it sit overnight, let it dry really well. Then I can come back tomorrow and it'll highlight every little spot that needs to be fixed. Because when you have that all different crazy looking coats, you can't really see all that. Once you get this on there, it's like, hello, they just jump out at you. I see this big dent right here. Like, I want to sand that and get that smooth. So, good news is, the front is in really bad shape. It's in really good shape. So, the main thing was the back. Got a little gouge right here. We can fix that, no big deal. I wanted to do something before I sprayed this, but I completely forgot. So what I wanted to do was spray this whole thing in shellac. This stuff right here. So I wanted to spray it in this, but I completely forgot. So what we're gonna do tomorrow is make sure this sticks good. We're gonna scratch it a few times, see how easy it is to scratch off. Worst case scenario, if it just falls off, we'll just sand it back down and, you know, hit it with shellac and repaint it with this. So anyway, so this is just our base coat, just to find flaws. So we're in the fixing major dents and dings part right now. Tomorrow we'll go over this with a fine-tooth comb. So y'all stay tuned. All right, so we had like 5 or 10 minutes to sneak away during daylight hours. So I'm out here about to try to fill in some of these little holes on this guitar. So here we go. All right, here's what we're using. Woodfilla, Gorilla, Goodfilla, whatever. All right, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna go through here, and all these little holes we're gonna just fill in with putty. All those holes. See, like this right here, I'm gonna have to get an actual hand sand. I'm gonna just hand sand all this smooth where it doesn't have those little wonky edges. Like all this will be hand sanded smooth. Well, so all that'll be hand sanded smooth. So anyway, so I'm not gonna put any of this on camera because, I mean, self-explanatory. Dab some on your finger, stick it in the hole, smooth it over. Repeat process. Dab some, put it in there, repeat process. So tonight, when I come back out here, this will be look like the paint stuck. So I mean, stuck to the underside, so that's good. All right, so we're gonna just start dabbing stuff on and get it going while I have a few minutes. So come back later on once it's dried and we'll do some hand sanding. All right, and just like that, the kids are asleep and we're back. So this is already hard as a rock right here. So we're gonna go in here and start smoothing this out and sanding a little bit here and there. Like I said, I'm not gonna video that stuff because it's boring. And after we get it where we want it, we'll come back and I'll probably hit it with another coat or something. All right, here we go. So we got everything, little hairline things all filled in. That smooth as butter right there. We went around all these little routes and tried to clean up those because they were kind of little scruffy looking. I didn't worry about this because it's gonna be covered up. This I tried to flatten out as best I could. So we're good on this. That's the front. So now we go to the back. So this was the big gouge. So when I rub my finger across it, it's pretty freaking smooth. And this is pretty smooth. That was a big gouge. All under here is really smooth. You can feel the little dot where the hole is. But everything's smooth again. And I've been, this is about two once overs. Need to hit that again right there. So this is about 2 once overs with first one was 220, the second one was 320. I'm just kind of working around it here, just knocking down the high spots. So we had one coat of the high build primer, and we're about to hit it with another coat of high build primer and let it sit overnight. And tomorrow we'll give it another peek and see what else we need to fix. Go in level after level until you get all this perfectly smoothed out and ready for your base coat. Because if it's not perfect, your base coat is not going to be perfect, and your clear coat is not going to be perfect, and your results not going to be perfect. So it's hard to get it perfect because it's a lot of problems, but we're going to get as close as we can. All right, so I hit it with a couple coats, just letting it dry. Once it dries, it's going to be it's looking pretty nice. It's looking pretty flat. It's like we got most of all the major problems out. Here's the front. Looking real good. Oh yeah. Yep. Prep, and then guess what? Prep some more. So we're gonna let this sit overnight. Come out here tomorrow, we'll inspect it, see if there's any problems. Like always, I'll let it sit like this so nothing gets trapped in the, when it goes up and down, so nothing will get trapped on the sides. You know, it's got less surface area to hit. I don't know if that works or not, but it's not too bad here. Like I said, this one doesn't have to be super perfect because I am doing the words all across the front of this one. So it's going to take away a lot of the, the imperfections. So, but anyway, so here we go. We're getting close, guys. Look at that little niche right there. Just barely see some of those things, you know. But when you're having it with all the words and clear coated and looking nice, it's not going to matter. So that's it for now. We'll let her sit out here and chill, and tomorrow we'll get here and get back on it and fix any imperfections and hit it with some more filler primer. And so this filler primer is so thick, you want to let it sit and really harden up. You don't want to keep messing with it. So I mean, it's like spraying just some straight up Bondo or something. Not really Bondo, but it's like spraying something really super thick. So but I use it as a tool. I'm not using it as a primer. I'm using it to find the problem. So people will be like, oh, why is he using so much primer? Well, I'm trying to find the problems. And in the middle of that, it also helps lay down everything flat and nice. So there we go. Ooh, them lights are bright. All right, so we're back again. Everybody's asleep, so we're out here messing with this guitar. So this is the second church guitar that we're still working on. I'm about to flip over here and show y'all what this day 2 looks like after the paint's dried. All right, so everything's dried. There's one little bitty dimple right there, which I might try and put something in that. Other than that, there's a couple little high spots. The front looks really good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take some 600 Astilex, because we don't want to really eat into it very deep. We're gonna go over the whole thing. We're gonna smooth all these rough spots off, all these little birds and stuff. We're gonna smooth all those down, just smooth the whole thing over, and just kind of see what if it's ready for another hit of primer, or see if it's ready for painting. So we'll kind of know that in just a minute. All right, so we got it about as smoothed out as we're gonna get it, and it's close to perfect. So I've wiped it off with a little tack cloth. I've sanded it down. I've filled in little imperfections here and there. Got some over here. So now they're flush. So we're gonna hit it with one more coat of filler primer and let it dry. While it's drying, I'm gonna go over there and work on sanding down the neck. Okay, so I showed this on the live with all these scratches and dents. So I'm gonna show it here right now too. So we're gonna go through here and we're gonna sand all that out. So sand it all flush, sand all this flush, and get it back to bare wood. So that's what we're about to do right now. All right, folks, so we went 120 and we went hard. So we went straight beaver teeth, and we took that little notch off. So it doesn't look like a telly or a strat. It just looks a lot, I think, cleaner without that notch. So we just ate that right off with the 120. And then we sanded out all the imperfections, made this back flat, made this back flat. So I guess this maybe is maple, I don't know. But what we're gonna do is we're probably gonna shellac it like we do everything. Look, I see a little dent right there. We gotta finish getting that out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get that little dent right there and another little dent right there out. Then we're using 120, so then we're gonna go to something a little more smooth. So probably like a 320, not 220, probably 320. And then we're gonna sand all the fretboard back right there, all the sides, and we're gonna just sand the whole thing down to where it's nice and smooth. So once it's nice and smooth, what we will do then is I think we're just gonna, guess what? Should we shellac it like we do everything else? Or should we leave it this color and spray the regular shellac over it? Of course, not over the fretboard. We're gonna mark all that off. So, should we keep it this maple color? Or should we shellac it with the other stuff? Decisions. All right, homies. So we got the old board here nice and cleaned up and taped down and protected. Well, damn. Lost one of my dots. Ain't no telling where that's at. Well, great, another little project. Lord have mercy, you can't have nothing. Man, I can't believe that little circle fell out. Ain't no way I'll find that. Anyway, so I have to figure out how to make another one of those. All right, so I didn't want to order just these things, get weight, whatever. So what we did was I said, let me find a piece of, I gotta find a piece of plastic, just a piece of white plastic that should be everywhere in the shop. So I took a piece of PVC pipe and just nipped the piece off. I kind of cut it down, so I kind of hammered it in a hole. So now what I'm gonna do is sand that down flat and see if it looks like a circle. And if it doesn't, we'll try something else. Okay, well, it in fact looks circly enough. So it ain't a perfect circle like that, but filled the holes. So I think if you're a young musician and you look down, you're gonna not even notice that. So I'm gonna take that as a win. So that worked out. Okay, so that's filled in. All right, so now then we're gonna do the shellac. There he goes again. Every time I go to talking, it keeps on running its mouth. Going crazy out here. All right, so we're gonna go shellac this dog here, I think, and call it a night. All right, so here's like 2 coats. It's super splotchy. See how splotchy that is? Maybe that's because I didn't get off the base coat off. The headstock's not splotchy, so that means that I got all the base off of that. So that doesn't look too bad. That looks bad. I gotta clean that up. But that doesn't look bad. This looks bad where I didn't sand it very well, and down here probably where I didn't sand it very well. So I think I need to go over these parts again and sand this back down and hit it again. Alrighty, so I think I've had enough tonight. So we got maybe, I think it's 2 coats. So it's got a couple little blotchy marks in it after I've sanded it. And what happened was the grain got it's a little fuzzy and got raised when I put the shellac on there. So that looks fine. It's a little raised here too. So I'm probably gonna do is just get some 320, not tonight, I'm gonna let it soak in really good. Get some 320, just kind of knock that grain down. I didn't want this thing to be like, oh, look how yellow that looks. I want it to be kind of just a nice wood color. So I wanted to leave it just like this. A little bit aged looking, but not really, really old like the other stuff. So we're gonna leave it like this, come back tomorrow, light sand it down and try to knock some of that down. That looks good. That blocked off really nice. So, we'll see you tomorrow. So, stay tuned.